All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak, Wadash. I want to give double honors to my apostle, Nils, a great millstone, who teach very well. Wanted this truth from and salutation out there to the hopeful. Let them continue to push this word in our truth, faith, and sincerity. And also, Shalom to all the men, women, and children who sincerely believe upon the words of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And today, man, just basically getting and touching on how two-thirds of our people are not meant to receive this truth. And the reason why, because they don't want to push off the old ways that they learned, coming from, the spirit of an American, the spirit of the NAACP, the spirit of Black Lives Matter. And you have to throw away all those different type of philosophies in order to enter into the rest of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. So let's go ahead and get this. This is the book of Romans 13, and I'm going to start at verse 11. It says, in knowing that, it's like in that, knowing the time that now is the high time to awake out of sleep. Yes. The spirit of Christianity, the spirit of Black Lives Matter, the spirit of the black woman is God. I mean, you sleep, man. And the Lord is sending his prophets to wake your ass up. But we're not going to overexert ourselves to get a nigga to get it, man. It's getting to a point now we're not going to overexert ourselves to get it because the information is out there, man. The videos, the understanding, but Jake refused to walk in the way of life. And the reason why, because they was groomed to be a Babylonian. Let's continue on. It says, it is now high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. Yes, because ultimately, 2,000 years ago, it was a far off unto us in the flesh. But even now, the missiles upon the scene, this devil is finna get ready to push forth this new world order, this draconian system. And you can see it now. World War III is popping off with proxy wars. But again, people are still in that worldly mindset. Let's continue on. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. Yes, this kingdom is over with, man. This is the night, the valley of the shadow of death. And it says what? It says, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. And a part of you casting off the works of darkness is the things that you thought was right. You thought that Eve actually ate an apple. You thought that the serpent was really a snake, man. Not knowing that he was just a snake-ass nigga. But just going back, Israel, the people of the Most High, the children of Yasharala, which includes the Black, Latinos, and Native Americans, and of course the ones that scattered abroad. These people have always been synonymous with being rebellious and also stuck in their ways. Let's get one real quick. Because again, in order to come into this truth, you have to throw away all those old things that you thought was right. You thought Mother Mary got pregnant by Gabriel. No, man. It's a reason why Joseph's line was spoken about in Matthew, the 1st chapter. Let's go ahead and get this done. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 10, and I'm going to start at verse 12. It says, sow yourselves in righteousness, reap in mercy. And a part of you sowing yourselves in righteousness is you doing this work, man. And then because we actually, in these people's brain, we're synonymous with teaching. The things that we was before, an athlete, a rapper, nigga was a good actor and shit like that. Nigga wanted to make it in Hollywood. Hey, they don't know us from those things anymore. They know us from teaching the word. And that's a part of us sowing in righteousness, man, so we can reap in mercy. And a part of us reaping in mercy is during the time when shit get bad, times when things get hard. The Lord, he's going to step in on our behalf, man. And the reason why is because we made the Lord our first priority. And that's the spirit, too. I know down south in Malala high schools, in middle schools, like I know when I was in school, it was every Wednesday, and they used to have like a little church service, and the church service was called First Priority. So before you go to school, before you do this, you'll praise the Lord. Then, even though they didn't know what was really going on, and even when I was doing it, I didn't know what was really going on, but I see it now. It was a spiritual meaning behind First Priority, Let's go and continue on. Sow yourselves in righteousness, reap in mercy, break up your fallow ground. Yes, and that fallow ground is your hard-headed mindset. People got the so-called black woman in a certain light. You got black people in a certain light. You even got the so-called white man in a certain light. But once you come into this truth, you got to change your whole perspective and be retaught again. Because if you don't, ultimately, you will be in the mindset of an American. It says, break up your fallow ground, for now it is time to seek the Lord. It says, till he come and rain righteousness upon you. That's it. Because we ultimately growing through the Spirit, but at the same time, a part of you breaking up that fallow ground is you got to till the ground. That hard ground, you take that axe or a hoe and you stab it through and make a line so a seed can be planted. And that seed that's being planted is what? The seed of righteousness, man. Let's go ahead and continue on. Let's get another one. Because again, 2/3 of our people, they don't want to come into this rest. Why? Because they're hard-headed. And it always been the same MO. Niggas want to love, they love the darkness. Going back into the times of Moses in the wilderness, ultimately the reason why niggas ain't want to bow down is because of what? Them niggas love the leeks and the cucumbers that the Egyptians was giving them. You ain't mention the hell of nigga beat down your brother and your uncle in front of you and you couldn't do nothing about it. Only thing these niggas want to have is peace and mercy under the white man. But you can't have peace and mercy, man. We can give you a good job and a nice car and a Jake satisfied, man. When really you should be in the mindset of ruling over these people and showing these people how it really, truly is to live. And we're going to show you guys in the kingdom of heaven. Let's go ahead and get this real quick. This is the book of Psalms 95. And I'm going to start at verse 7. It says, matter of fact, let's start at verse 6. It says, come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah, our maker. And a part of you bowing down is bowing down to the doctrine, bowing down to the men that's right. While the rest of these people, they bowing down to the wicked. If Joel Osteen enter into the building, niggas, TD Jakes, niggas reference, nigga put his blunt out. But once the prophets come, hey, you acting normal. No feeling your heart or nothing. Because ultimately, you guys don't know the Lord or who he truly is, man. Let's go ahead and continue on. It says, for he is our power, and we are the people of his pasture and the sheep of his hand today, if we would hear his voice. So you really, Yasharala, if you hearken, to like it. You really Yasharala if you hearken into the doctrine. If you don't, then you really considered an heathen. You really considered a 2/3 now, man. You're not considered the children of Yasharala. And the reason why you don't want to hearken into the dark, to the light. You want to stay in darkness, man. Continuing on. Harden not your hearts, as in the day of provocation. Yes. Because niggas, back in the time of the wilderness, niggas was hard-headed. They didn't break up their fallow ground. Because you have to make room for the Lord, You have to clean up all the old shit and throw it out so your house can be clean for your Yahweh Shemashah to furnish. Continuing on. It says, harden not your hearts as in provocation, as in the day of temptation in the wilderness, when your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my works. Yes, and you can see the works of the Lord right now by men standing out on the highways and byways consistently, man. Doing the videos consistently and really doing the things that please the Lord, which is what? The foolishness of preaching. Continuing on. 40 years long I was grieved with this generation, and said, it is a people that do err in their heart, and they have not known my ways. And how do you err in your heart? By hearkening unto the ways of this system, man. Adultery, that's a cool thing amongst the Israelite community. When ultimately the solution is stoning. Continuing on though, it says, it is a people that err in their heart, and they do not know my ways, and to whom I swear in my wrath that they should not enter into my rest. Yes, and this is the reason why 2/3 of our people can't get it, because they're hard-headed. They didn't break up their fallow ground, and ultimately they didn't cleave unto the Lord. Only time these people try to cleave into the Lord when it's needed, when you're short on your bills, or when Esau come down having great wrath. But guess what? It's going to be too late then. You should have hearkened while the Lord was near. But just best believe when a lot of things start going bad, Jake will reach out to the Lord. But for a lot of Israelites, it's going to be too late. So yeah, I get my pray this video was edifying. We give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostle, Ellis Great Millstone.